Hey guys, it's our anniversary. Cheers to
Cheers
3
to 3
years.
years. Welcome to Love is a Verb.
So today we're going to talk about, because it's our anniversary, we're going to just reflect a little bit about last year and just talk about how we feel.
Last year? You mean the last 3 years?
Well, last year because, it's been 3 years, so every year we do a reflection. So I wanted to reflect on last year. Unless you want to reflect on the last 3 years, we can do that too.
I mean, I don't know about... Okay, cool. We can reflect on the last year.
Yeah, because I can't even think, well, it was COVID when we first moved here a couple years ago. And then, so last year I feel like is appropriate.
Okay, cool.
But how are you feeling?
I feel good, man. I mean, you know how I feel. Ever since I knew I was going to get serious about you, I tried to always treat you like my wife. So, it's okay. New experience though. Actually, in the court of law and everything, being married, which is probably the best decision I ever made, was marrying you. So
Aw, you're so sweet.
I feel like it's been cool. I mean, out of all the things that we've had to get acclimated to, we had a rough go at it because our first year of marriage, we got into a horrible car accident right before our honeymoon, and that was just difficult. And
Still trying to settle that case. Just crazy.
And now, like, we live in Arizona and trying to figure all that out, and still, I think moving here though is probably the best, has been the best thing for us. Like,
For sure.
I definitely feel like in the pandemic years, we've grown a lot closer together. So
100%. I totally agree. And I feel like it's still kind of like new to me right now. I feel like it's been 2 years versus 3 years. And I know like I'm like a year behind. Like I really feel like it's 2 years. Like if somebody asked me how long we've been married, 2 is the thing that pops in my mind, but it's really 3 years. So I think that that's a good thing. Yeah. It's been fun. It's been exciting, and we're growing together. So it's been nice. And I really do enjoy like what we're doing, and like being here in Arizona. It's like all new and fresh. So I feel like that's the reason why it feels like 2 years to me. Because we've been here for 2 years.
Yeah, we've been here for 2 years, and it's just been us and trying to develop a friend set, and we don't have the outside kind of things that we had when we were in Georgia, which is cool for me. Like, I love just being like, okay, well, all I got is me and my wife, so like, let's figure life out, so totally. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, me too. So when I was thinking about reflections, I thought about like, okay, what was the one thing that last year was like my favorite that we did together? And the first thing that came to mind for me was going on our trip to Las Vegas. And the reason why that's like the best like part of last year for me was just seeing you in your element with your family. And like that was our first family trip. Like, since we've been together for a long time.
I mean, it's our first famly trip.
Like
because,
with your family.
Because my family does. It's not our first family trip. It's our first trip that we've taken with my father.
With your dad, yeah.
With my dad. Mm-hmm. It's not our first family trip because when we were in Georgia, we used to do Thanksgiving with my mom. And
that's different. I mean, like we all go somewhere, not like where we come to visit. Like this is our first family trip. Like, oh yeah, I guess you're right because we go to Myrtle Beach
it's a trip. My family
Yeah,
doesn't live
you're
in
right. True. So
so
maybe it is with your dad because we don't do that often.
right.
It was just great to see the dynamic between y'all either way. And so that was my favorite. Your sister was
You
there.
mean you really want to say like your favorite was seeing me at that pool party?
No, no, no. Seriously, the whole entire trip. Like, soon as we walked in, you were like dapping it up with everybody, and just it just seemed like just it was meant to be, and everybody was in good vibes and having a good time. It was a blast, and then my dad came, which was crazy. I was like, wow, this is very like it was
Yeah,
just crazy how everything just kind of fell together.
yeah. I mean,
So that was my highlight. And then, of course, Atlanta and, of course, Miami. Traveling, period, for me is like when we
always
travel, we're
always
the
a
best
highlight
version of
for
ourselves.
me because I mean I definitely enjoyed that Vegas trip with my father
Yeah.
and my stepmom and my sister. And when me and my dad and my sister all are together and all in a turn up mode, it's a it's a bit
I
of
had a
a it's a
blast.
bit of a fun time, you know. But I will say, like for me, because the highlight of the year would probably have been the Miami trip for me, because you know how much I love Fort Lauderdale
Miami was nice.
and Miami and the ocean, and an ocean I can actually get into. Like I'm very big on oceans I can actually get into, swim in, all those things, but
Just the beach in
yeah, the
general.
beach in general. So,
Yeah.
and then, cigars, food, the colorfulness of the city, like, I just enjoy that. So that was probably my highlight of the year. And then it was your birthday, so,
Right. And then it was my birthday. I feel like,
and then seeing like
traveling.
your friend like
Birthday. My best friend,
actually
Adam
come
came.
come out and
Yeah.
support Adam.
It's perfect.
You know how we feel.
That's my girl. You're
Thank
my
you so
heart
much.
girl.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, but what out of all the things like that we've done and that we enjoyed, like what's the one thing that you're looking forward to building onto?
Our business. I mean, I we talk about it all the time. So that's not changing. Like I feel like and this is a one step in that. Is this podcast coming together? But ultimately, our real estate business and building a legacy for our family. Like I'm looking forward to that and building on that. And I know that it's not going to happen. Hopefully, it does happen in 1 year. Don't get me wrong, but I know it's a constant progression. So I'm excited about focusing on it and
Yeah,
growing in that area.
yeah, same.
Yeah. What's one thing that you miss, or that you like last year that we did more that you miss?
Um, I don't know. I've been on this whole thing where I'm just being in the moment. So once the moment's kind of happened and gone and done, like I don't really. I just enjoy it. I don't know if there's anything that I miss that we don't continuously do. I like we're adding stuff to our plates.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we're adding doing this podcast. We're adding stuff like that. So I mean, I can't say that. Well, you know what? I will say there's the one thing that I miss, and I miss when you got up in the morning and would either walk
I knew it was gonna have to
or
be
or
working
run.
out
It's not
or
even the workout portion. It's because the thing what I liked about it is like now when I do it, I try to plan my day and what I need to focus on in my own head. But when I had you like when we did those walks together, I'd be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking today or what I think I need to do.
yep.
And then
Times have changed.
that's getting your insight on that
Yeah, I had a
definitely
lot more
helped.
time. When things were slower. Like then business started picking up, and yeah, I got away from that. But we're getting back into it. We're
Yeah,
trying to figure things out, so that's good. It's not like we're not trying to get back to that place.
yeah,
So just gotta adjust. But for me, house parties. I know I told you before, but I miss our house parties. Like I miss hosting and having people over. Like I you don't miss
I
it because you have to like get food and drink and like make sure everybody's good. It's a lot that comes with it. But I miss it. I miss like just having everyone in my home, and just having a fun time playing games and just chatting.
playing games. That's all. That's all.
Playing games all day. So, what I'm looking forward to coming up is the wedding. I'm really excited about that. I mean, to see your best friend, or y'all, you've known him for a long time.
Yeah, I have known Jay for a long time. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm more excited for him, not necessarily the wedding. But
I'm
I'm
excited for it
excited.
all.
I'm excited for him and what like this. It's been a long time coming. I'm definitely excited for that. More near future stuff that I'm excited for. Just more, business building type of stuff. Like that we're actually doing more things together creatively.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and just taking this real estate industry by storm. I'm excited for that, and I know it sounds like crazy that we're just so like hyper business focused. But I also appreciate the fact that we've most of our friends when they got married, they've all of our friends once they got married, they had kids like very very soon after. We've definitely enjoyed being married. We also enjoyed being together for 10 years before we got married, but we've enjoyed being married. So hopefully, like in the near future, a little Jay will, because my name's Jay, Jason.
So, how
So,
near is near?
well, you already gave me the timeline, so don't
I
don't
know,
act,
but you say
don't
near.
act,
You
don't
can't. I don't want you
don't
to give
act,
people false hopes.
don't
You know what I'm
act,
saying?
don't act
Like near means couple year,
a
or
year,
years,
a year,
maybe
a
two,
year. She already
one
was
or
like,
two, maybe.
yo, bro, you
Just
better
know it's not
get with
tomorrow.
it. Yeah, it's not
Okay.
tomorrow. For everybody, mom,
It's not tomorrow.
Adriana, other family,
Sis,
it's
sis,
not
and sis.
tomorrow. Not to kids are definitely a blessing, and we definitely want them, but we have some aggressive goals that we need to be hitting first.
Yeah, I feel like that's it, but I also feel like we're enjoying just not having, a child, in the mix right now. I think we're enjoying each other right now, and I know when you have a child, you every 100% of whatever your focus is goes towards your child, and I want that. I definitely do. And we're just really focused on building each other right now. So that way, when we bring a child into the world, they have something, like we can just pass it down. So I get that. But we're also enjoying each other. So
Yeah. I,
it's kind of like, but it's going to happen, but not tomorrow. That is all.
so I mean, like, what out of this last year? Because you say all the time, and I'm super proud of you, and I'm just kind of like, and I'm so like
I'm super proud of you.
I'm so like laser focused. I don't
Yeah.
really celebrate any of the wins. Um,
You don't. You don't?
but what, I guess as one of my goals for every year is to be a better husband, a better everything. I guess my question is like, what are the things that you've seen this year that you've really, I guess, enjoyed that I guess.
Dedication. That's the first thing I have to say. Is like you are dedicated. Like you are. When you say focus, you are hyper focused. Like I feel like you try to give me advice on work life balance, but you really need to be giving yourself advice on work life balance because you are always working. It don't matter. Like we could be walking and you see a house for sale and you're like, let me go like see what this is about. You know what I mean? Like I'm like it's like no time off.
Well, I mean,
Always you're always on the hunt and you're always so dedication. So I see how dedicated you are and how dedicated you have been. And hard work pays off. I know we talked about this. So with that, like, it's gonna happen, and I love how dedicated you are. So that, loving, you've been super loving. You've been listening to me more. This past year, I can tell, like, we've grown in that way. Like, where if I say, like, hey, this is what I'm, like, I want to work more on this, we work on it. So I love that. And just, you've grown, you've built so many relationships in this past year. Because our first year here, we were really in the house. I mean, we made friends, but our second year, which was last year, like, we took off. Like, you made a lot of connections. So I'm super proud of you. And now you're on this new team. That just came about towards the end of the last year or beginning of this year. So
Beginning of this year.
yeah, so it's been really good. Like, I'm proud of you. It's all growth and it's all good things.
Cool. I
Yeah.
mean, I think you're a fighter.
I was gonna say, what about me?
You're and and
I'm
and
a fighter.
you're a fighter, and in a different way. Like, people think fighter is like, no, no, no. But in a sense of just kind of like whatever comes your way, you kind of just adapt and move forward, and continuing to
Yeah.
adapt and move forward, which is teaching. Which, like, I've learned a lot from you in that way, because all the stuff that's happened with with your work, and with your clients and all that kind of stuff, and you just kind of adapt to every situation and just make it cool. You always bring your bubbly energy in it and make everything
It's hard.
so wonderful. And I see it, and then once you're done, and then you're like, okay, well, babe, this just happened. I'm like, and I'm always like, well, you need to give them that same energy, but no, because it would just authentically not to be you to do that. So I think that's the thing that, I mean, and you keep continually get better at, even when I'm like, I know the people, and I know you could do this, and I know they'll go for it, and you're just like, no, not gonna do that. But I think that the fact that you're just a fighter and a all out hustler, like, you keep adding more things to your plate.
Yes, I'm so excited. So many ideas.
But
All great things,
but
though.
even though the ideas, they're all coming to fruition, and that's
Yeah, I
that's
hope
kind of
so.
my thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, you sweet baby. Um, so yeah, it's just, and then bringing that together, like, we kind of piggyback off of each other. I feel like, I learn from you, you learn from me, like, in that
Yeah.
way, and that we complement each other, and that's why I feel like things are just gonna work out for the best. Like, whatever our goals are, like, it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful.
Me too, man.
Really don't
Me
have
too.
any other words other
Yeah.
than I'm grateful and
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. I'm super stoked.
Super
I'm super
blessed.
stoked of everything we're doing. And guys, like always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for tuning in. Major thanks. As always, love is a verb. It is an action. With everything you do, you have to put in the work, to see the thing grow. In our relationship, we continually put in the work to see it grow. In all of our business endeavors, we continually put in the work to see it grow. So that's what this podcast is about. Today was about relationships and celebrating our third year anniversary. So, yeah.
Yeah, and say hi, guys. Tell us happy anniversary below. It'd be so great to just say hey and see who's watching, and thanks again. Like, just like Jason said, thank you so much. If you are watching again, we really appreciate you coming back and Stay tuned for more videos from us. Hit the notification bell and don't forget to subscribe. And we will see you guys soon.
Bye.